Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this Facebook Live. We're going to be talking about how to create new habits. When you want to become more resilient, when you want to work on stress management, when you want to do burnout prevention, it is important to start doing things that you didn't do before to make all of this happen. But it's not always easy to create a new habit. Often we start in a very motivated way, very enthusiastically, and then we don't really do it. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to make it work. First of all, what is your why? Why do you really want to create this new habit? Why is it important for you? Ideally, it's linked to your beliefs. When it's linked to your values, when it's linked to your values, it's going to be stronger. So suppose one of my values is health. It's going to be easier to eat healthily and to do things for my health. If health does not come very high in my ranking of values, it's going to be harder. So why is it so important for you? And the why is maybe only true for you. So it could not be important for somebody else for that reason. And that doesn't matter. It's only supposed to motivate you. Second thing, probably you have different things you want to do, and different things are important to you. You have different values. So if, for instance, you would like to be more healthy by doing more sports, this is going to have to compete with other things that are important for you. Be a good mother, be a good employee at work, be something else and something else. How important is sports really? Because maybe something else might need to go. In order to fit in the sports in your schedule, you might not be able to watch as much television as you did before, for instance. Okay, so how important are the different things for you? 3, plan it. If it's in your diary, if you've planned it, like for instance, 3 times a week, I go to this class, Zumba class, and it's really booked, you're more likely to go than if you say, I'd like to do some more sports, because it's not really scheduled and you're going to do less of it. And then finally, something that could work against you could be your subconscious. What do I mean by this? Maybe you really do want to eat more healthily, or you want to play the piano, or you want to start running. However, there's this voice, maybe at some subconscious level, that says, yeah, but I probably am not good enough. It's probably not going to work. I did this before. In our family, we don't do healthy eating. I would upset my mother. Or we playing the piano. Why? What's the point of playing the piano? This is so frivolous. There are so many things that I have to do. All of these beliefs could be holding you back, and they might need to be worked on. This I cannot explain here. We can use cognitive restructuring, a technique we explained before, and you'll find a video on that. But sometimes it'll require a bit more, and that I can only do in a one-on-one session. So these are some reasons why reasons you have to think about before you decide what you want to do, and if it's really important enough. Now, once you've decided that you want it, it's important to create a ritual. And for this, I get my inspiration with Leo Babauta. I don't know if I pronounce his name well. He's from Zen Habits, and I have been following him for a couple of years. I receive his newsletter. I don't know if it's on a weekly basis or more often. Doesn't matter. Anyway, he is very specialized in creating habits. So why not go to the master for the tips? I have tried them out all, and I can confirm they work. So why not? If you want to know more, do check out his website. First thing he says, and I totally agree, is if you want to create new habits or rituals, do not start with 5 rituals at the same time, because it's going to be too overwhelming. You're not going to be able to do them all, and you're going to be frustrated and stressed. So start with 1 at a time. Do them, for instance, for a month, at the end of the month, they will have become a habit. And once they're a habit, you can add another ritual. So I really agree completely with him. Sometimes I want to take too much on my plate and it doesn't work. From the moment I decide, okay, this month I'm going to focus on this, it's much easier. Okay, so what are his tips? First tip, keep it small. So you would like to start to meditate. Do not start immediately with 45 minutes, but just do it for 5 minutes. It's very short. Everybody can do it. And so once you've done it for a couple of days, then you add 2 minutes, for instance, up to the duration where you really want to go. That's all. You want to eat more healthily, make some changes in your normal diet, a couple of changes a week. Do not completely change everything. It's going to be hard. It is possible if you're like truly and really determined, but it's going to demand much more energy than when you just change some little things every now and then. So start small. Secondly, just do it. So when the time comes to do your yoga, go for your run, drink water, play the piano, 100 excuses might come and your mind is going to be very creative. There's always something else that can be done, or you have some doubts. Ignore the excuses and just do it. It's not a slogan for nothing. I mean, just do it. And when you've done it, you're going to be very pleased with yourself. So just do it, no excuses. Another one is accountability usually helps. So this can be a buddy, somebody who knows and who's going to check on you and say, did you do it? Weren't you going to do this? Blah, 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 blah. It can be somebody in your family. They can help you eat more healthily or go running. Just find somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Reminders work. If you want to drink, for instance, as from now, a liter and a half of water every day, for instance, you can put a reminder in your calendar, for instance, at lunch. How much have you been drinking today? Have you already been drinking half a liter, for instance, which will probably be necessary if you want to get to a liter and a half by the end of the day, for instance, right? So these little reminders to remind you. Linked to that, daily tracking. Daily tracking is you keeping track every day. Have I done it or not? There are lots of apps for this. Just Google, look on your phone. They both exist for iPhones and Androids. Just check it out. They exist. But if you say, okay, I'm not so much into apps, no problem. Just make a simple form yourself. You can make it as beautifully, as complicated, as simple as you want yourself. It can be just a page you stick on the fridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 30 days. Drinking water. And then you put a cross each time you did it. You reached your goal. Basta. That's all. It's very simple. But it's going to hold you also accountable. Daily tracking is linked then to the next one, weekly reviews. So at the end of every week, I'm going to look, did I do it? Did I not do it? I'm going to celebrate my successes. Yes, I did it like, let's say, 6 times out of 7. Good, good, good. I didn't do it here. Why? Is there something that could help me do it? Or I didn't do it at all or hardly. That can help me think about why. Is the timing wrong? Is it maybe not so important as I thought it was? So by looking at it on a weekly basis, you can tweak and you can create improvements that are going to help you to achieve it anyway, to make this a real habit. It could also help to do things with others. Of course, if also your partner is going to go on this healthy diet thing, or if you have a friend who also wants to go to the gym, sometimes when one of you doesn't really feel like it, the other one can say, come on, yes, we're going to do this, and convince the other to still do it. And then usually afterwards, both of you are going to be happy that you did it. So a partner can really help. And a last one, focus on the joy it gives you. So you really like to go for a walk. While you go for the walk, really focus on the beauty of nature, the fresh air, how it makes you feel. And if you really focus on that joy, it's gonna make it easier to do it next time as well, because you'll think, oh yes, maybe I don't feel like it now because I'd rather stay inside and it's cold outside. But yeah, yesterday I also felt very good when I went for my walk. So yes, I am going to do it. Now, if, however, it doesn't give you joy at all, it's more of a must. That's possible. For instance, I have to change my diet because of a medical condition. Ideally, changing your diet for that medical condition will have benefits, right? So because of this, I will feel less X or more Y or whatever. Then you focus on that, and that's going to help you to continue. Okay, maybe it's not joy, but you do see some advantages. If you don't see advantages, okay, maybe you have to wait a bit longer, that's possible. Or maybe this is not working for you and you have to find something else. So these are the tips from Leo, and I totally agree with all of them. You might think, oh my God, I just want to create a habit. I don't want to do all of this. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it might be necessary to do all this in order to create this habit. Because think of New Year's and all of the resolutions you make every year, and how many you're still doing in February or now, for instance. It really is not so easy to create a new habit, and these tips are going to help you. If you think, no, this is too much of a hassle, fine. But then my question to you is, do you really want to create this habit? Is your why big enough? Because if it isn't, don't do it. Life is too short. There are so many things one can do. Do not force yourself to create a habit for something that actually is not that important for you. See? Why would you do that? So I hope it helps. What is it that you really, really, really want? Come on, you can do it. Have a very nice weekend. Bye-bye. See you next time.